You're dying. Right now. Not physically. Not yet. But you're dying in every way that matters. You're dying professionally. You're dying financially. You're dying as a potential version of yourself that could have been something. And you're dying in the most pathetic way possible. Comfortably. Your comfort zone is not a safe space. It's a cage. And the worst part, you built it yourself. Bar by bar. Excuse by excuse. Choice by choice. Every time you chose the familiar over the unknown. Every time you chose easy over hard. Every time you chose comfortable over growth. You added another bar to the cage that is now your entire life. And you don't even see it. Because the cage is padded. It's not harsh. It's not cold. It's soft. It's warm. It's exactly the temperature you like. The lighting is perfect. The routine is predictable. You know what happens every day. You know what to expect. And that predictability feels like safety. But it's not safety. It's death. The slow, comfortable death of a man who stopped growing because growth requires discomfort, and you've organized your entire life around avoiding it. Niccolò Machiavelli didn't get a choice. He was exiled from Florence, ripped out of his comfort zone by force. Everything he knew, gone. His political career, his status, his income, his daily routine, his comfortable life in the city, all of it stripped away. He was sent to a farm, in isolation, with no prospects, no path back to comfort, just harsh reality and uncertainty. And he could have withered. He could have spent his exile in bitterness, waiting for conditions to improve, waiting to be comfortable again before he started creating. But he didn't, because he understood something that you need to understand. Discomfort is not the problem. Discomfort is the forge. It's where everything worth having is created. And comfort is not safety. Comfort is stagnation wearing a disguise. So, Machiavelli wrote, in discomfort, in exile, in conditions that would make you quit before you started. And he wrote The Prince, the most influential political text in 500 years, not in spite of the discomfort, because of it, because comfort would have let him procrastinate, comfort would have let him make excuses, comfort would have let him wait, discomfort forced him to move. And you're waiting for comfort to create from, you're waiting to feel ready, you're waiting for the conditions to be perfect, you're waiting for the hard part to be over before you start. And while you wait, you're aging, you're getting weaker, you're getting more attached to the cage, because every year you stay comfortable makes it harder to leave. The bars get thicker, the comfort gets deeper, and the distance between who you are and who you could have been gets wider. Let me show you what your comfort zone actually looks like. It's your job, the one you complain about but never leave, because leaving would mean uncertainty. It would mean risk. It would mean discomfort. So you stay, year after year, complaining, fantasizing about leaving, but never actually doing it, because the known hell is more comfortable than the unknown possibility. It's your relationship. The one that stopped growing 3 years ago. The one where neither of you challenges the other. The one that's convenient and familiar and completely devoid of the passion that got you together in the first place. But breaking up would be uncomfortable. Starting over would be hard. Being alone would be scary. So you stay, rotting together in comfort. It's your routine. The same schedule every day. Wake up at the same time. Same breakfast, same commute, same lunch, same evening, same weekend. You can predict your entire week, your entire month, your entire year, and you think that's stability. It's not. It's a cage. You've trapped yourself in sameness because sameness is comfortable and growth is not. Here's what comfort actually costs you. Every time you choose comfort over discomfort, you are training yourself to be weaker. You are building a tolerance for ease and an intolerance for challenge. And that intolerance compounds. The first time you avoid something because it's uncomfortable, it's a small choice. But that choice makes the next avoidance easier, and the next, until you've spent 10 years avoiding everything difficult, and you've become a man who cannot tolerate any level of discomfort at all. And that intolerance is crippling, because everything worth doing is uncomfortable. Building a business is uncomfortable. Getting in shape is uncomfortable. Having hard conversations is uncomfortable. Taking risks is uncomfortable. Learning new skills is uncomfortable. Changing your life is uncomfortable. And if you cannot tolerate discomfort, you cannot do any of those things. You're trapped. Let me give you the framework. There are 3 zones: the comfort zone, the growth zone, the danger zone. The comfort zone is where you are now. It's safe, it's known, it's easy, and it produces nothing. No growth, no progress, no development, just maintenance of who you already are, which means, over time, regression. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. The growth zone is just outside your comfort zone. It's uncomfortable, but not dangerous. It's where you're challenged, but not destroyed. It's where you fail sometimes, but learn from the failure. It's where you're scared, but capable. This is where you need to live, not occasionally, permanently. This should be your new comfort zone. The danger zone is too far. It's where the challenge exceeds your capability by too much. It's reckless. It's destructive. And most men never get anywhere near it because they never even left the comfort zone. The problem is that most men confuse the growth zone with the danger zone. They think anything uncomfortable is dangerous, so they stay safe. They stay comfortable, they stay trapped, and they wonder why nothing in their life ever changes. Here's the practice. You need to deliberately seek discomfort, not because discomfort is good in itself, but because your capacity expands to match what you regularly expose yourself to. If you only do easy things, your capacity for difficulty shrinks. If you regularly do hard things, your capacity expands, and capacity is everything. Start simple. Cold showers. Not because they're healthy, because they're uncomfortable, because your body will scream at you to stop, and you will override that scream and finish anyway. You're training your nervous system to tolerate discomfort, to function through resistance, to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. Hard workouts. Past the point where it feels good, into the pain, into the place where your muscles are burning, and your lungs are screaming, and every part of you wants to stop, and you don't stop. You finish. You're expanding your threshold for suffering, and that threshold determines what you're capable of achieving. Uncomfortable conversations. The ones you've been avoiding with your boss, with your partner, with yourself. The ones where you have to say something that might cause conflict, where you have to advocate for yourself, where you have to disappoint someone. Have them. Learn that conflict doesn't kill you. Learn that disappointing people is sometimes necessary. Learn that your comfort is less important than your truth. Take risks, smart ones. But risks start the business. Change careers, move cities. Do the thing that everyone tells you is crazy, not because it's guaranteed to work, but because staying where you are is guaranteed not to. Uncertainty is uncomfortable, but certainty in the wrong place is a cage. Here's what happens when you do this consistently. Your comfort zone expands. The things that used to scare you don't anymore. Not because they got easier, because you got harder. You built capacity, and with that capacity, you can do things that comfortable men cannot. You can tolerate the discomfort of building a business. You can tolerate the uncertainty of leaving a job. You can tolerate the risk of starting over. You can tolerate all the things that comfortable men avoid, and that tolerance is your competitive advantage. Comfortable men are not your competition. They're not competing, they're hiding. They're in their cages, convincing themselves that safety is smart and comfort is success. They're not building anything. They're not risking anything. They're not growing. They're just existing comfortably until they die. And you could join them. You could stay in your cage. You could keep choosing familiar over growth. You could keep avoiding discomfort. You could spend the next 10 years exactly where you are, doing exactly what you're doing, becoming exactly nothing more than you already are. That is an option. It's the comfortable option. Or you could break out. You could recognize that the cage is unlocked, that you can leave any time, that the only thing keeping you in there is your unwillingness to tolerate temporary discomfort. And you could choose differently. You could choose growth over comfort, hard over easy, uncertain over familiar. You could step out of the cage into the cold, harsh world where nothing is guaranteed and everything is possible. Machiavelli didn't get a choice. You do. He was forced into discomfort and created greatness from it. You can choose discomfort and create the same, or you can stay comfortable and create nothing. Those are your options. Your comfort zone is a prison. You built it. You can leave it, but you have to want growth more than you want ease. And most men don't. Most men choose comfort, and most men die having never lived. Don't be most men. Break out. Subscribe to Savage Philosophy. For men who choose discomfort over decay,